What's going on, Team Tactile? Today we are going to do another switch review and take a look at these switches right here, which are the Akko Cream Blues switches. So I have looked at the Lavender Purples. They were actually the first switches I used. These seem to be, I think, a little more popular, and I would guess the reasoning is just because they are a little bit of a heavier switch. So I'm actually going to bring up the Lavender Purples side by side if you look at them. So a little bit more operating force on the Cream Blues, less total travel, which is interesting, and overall force needed is slightly more as well. So I think my biggest problem with these Lavender Purples is that they are very, very light. So I think that these Cream Blues can be a great switch for us when we're looking at something that is not as light as those, but still really affordable. These came in for me at actually $12.99 unlubed from Amazon. So that's a great price for 45 switches. I also love that Akko provides you in 45 in a package, because with 45 in a pack, usually two of them's going to cover 90% of your keyboards unless you're going with like a full layout. So it's really nice if you are doing the full layout. Sometimes the 35s are nice because you can get into over 100 with 3 packs and fill them out. So you'll need 3 for these, but for the price, it's hard to beat the Akko switches themselves. I do always enjoy how they come packaged. It's a little bit of a bigger box. Some of them are smaller, but again, you have 45 in here. And then you get this nice little tray that comes with it, which you can use to lube all of your stuff, because lube stations are frankly a waste of money unless they're real cheap anyway. So they're nice looking switches. Again, they're tactile because we like tactile switches. And let's pop one of these open. Alright, let's pop one of these open. So again, all Akkos are gonna open with the non-cherry opener. I do also always love how these just pop right open, which is super nice. And we can take a look at all the pieces here. So again, these are unlubed, but I have lubed them since getting them. So nothing too crazy though that we're going to be looking at here when it comes to a pretty standard looking switch. Pins and all for the bottom housing right there. Nothing crazy on the spring either. The spring is kind of a standard length spring, but no surprises there with they're still pretty light, regardless of them being a heavier switch than the Lavender Purples. But it's a pretty short spring, no double staging or anything crazy to make that work a little differently. And then your stem's going to be pretty standard as well. Your little feet there for getting a nice little tactile bump, and then again, your top housing, nothing too surprising there. So they do have the clear tops, so if you are somebody who's looking to put these on an RGB keyboard, they should have no issues letting the light shine through there. Although if you do really, really want to make the most out of your RGB, I would suggest checking out really any of the switches with like those RGB diffusers like I had from Fox. Those are really cool, but you're not going to have any problems here. Again, you get your nice little tray here, use it as a lube station, so it's great. So really hard to beat for the price at $12.99, especially if you already have all your lubing supplies and you're okay doing that. These are actually even cheaper than the Lavender Purples, or at least for what I paid, by $1. But I did buy those pre-lubed, so they ended up being closer to like $8, $9 more for 45. And yeah, so hard to beat from pricing, packaging, and all of that. Kind of what you expect, I'd say, from Akko. Maybe the top budget brand. These keycaps that I have over here, which are just Akko ABS keycaps, you would actually be able to build a keyboard for right under $200, which might sound crazy to some people, but as far as like real custom keyboards go, it is pretty good these days. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop these in. Awesome. All right, well, here we go. Keycaps are in. They look really nice. They're actually pretty quiet, so part of the reason why I wanted to put them in here as well was because I think I'm going to switch this out. You can see my KBD67, which we usually test things in, but I'm actually going to switch back over to, I think, my Montique M1 for a little bit, just because I prefer that 75% layout. So, looks really nice. Not that it means too much with the keycaps just sitting in there, or the switches just sitting in there. But let me get the keycaps on and we can see what it sounds like. Alright, so I got my keycaps in here. These are just the Akko Mars green keycaps. I've had them for a little bit. They're ABS, they're not PBT, but this is just like a great budget build. Basically the same first build that I did, except I used the Lavender Purple, so now we have these Cream Blues in there. The nice thing about these as well, compared to the Lavender Purples, is you get a little bit more force that's needed. So I have put some heavier keycaps on this and had some problems with the Lavender Purples. I would expect that I would not have as many problems with the more force needed on these, and you get more force back. So let's do a quick sound test on these. And there you have it. These are a really great switch. Again, for the price, it's hard to beat. They're packaged well. For a 75% layout, I even got some extras here, which is always nice. So that just in case you do mangle them, which I tend to do still now and then. And I really like kind of what I define as the chiclety sound. Everybody wants thok or clack, but for me, this is actually a very pleasing sound. It's a little more subtle than some of the the heavier switches that I've been putting into my KBD67, like the Voyagers, like even the Baby Kangaroos and things like that, which are really strong tactile switches. These are a little bit softer, a little more in between. So if you want to try out some tactile stuff, still kind of like the idea or the feel of linears, this could be a good middle ground for you. But I would definitely lean towards these over the Lavender Purples, just because that tiny bit of extra kind of force needed is going to do you a lot of good when it comes to changing out your keycaps and things like that. I think you'll have less problems with these in general. But yeah, great switch, great price, and you can make a really cool keyboard for under 200 bucks if you went with something like this. So that's going to do it all for this video. I appreciate everyone hanging out through another one. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.